at the same time. We try to stagger them so that they're able to best cover all of our resources.
I saw you had the camera there of the streets and that, and
Yes.
just for example, if say a tanker misses that warning signs down there, and he takes out something, or you have a major spill. If you had a camera down there, then you could take that and put it up here so you'd see what to need. And
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll be able to pull up the camera feeds, and that way we can better tell what
Tell the fire department what they
fire
need.
department,
Okay.
law enforcement, absolutely.
On an,
Yes.
Can you give me an idea on 911 calls? Average daily?
How many you receive?
Yeah. Or how many you get in a year? What's the,
We dispatch out 225,000 times a year.
911 call?
That
no, not dispatch. How many calls do you get? 200, quarter of a million
Well,
in a
see,
year?
we don't have the information on that exactly, and I have to research it.
absolutely. There's
But see,
probably-
you have a lot of systems out there now that didn't have the ability to track that. So I can't give you an exacting figure at this point.
Well, the main thing is the 911 call coming in. That's the important call.
Correct. Yeah, there's
No,
millions.
but 911 calls. There can't be a million.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this
No,
is-
they're coming in, but going out, and I can't hardly believe there's a million 911
there's a lot.
calls.
There's a lot of calls. You're looking at a lot.
You had a lot of calls, but I didn't hear a number. You know, you said you didn't have a number, and then now it's a million.
Well, if you look, if you take all three of the locations, you have Davenport, Bettendorf, and Scott County, and if you were combined based on what their previous history was, it literally does add up to close to 1 million calls, if not over that. I don't have a specific number.
And
for
he's
you.
correct. They're not all 911 calls because there are other
No,
calls that
in
generate.
911 calls, that's the main one.
We don't
That's
have a
what-
dispatch for every 911 call. We can get 30 or 40 calls on
Oh,
one
I understand
incident.
that. I understand that.
So, you know, that, it kind of narrows it down for a lot of incidents.
You can get 30 or 40 calls on what?
On
On a
one
single
incident,
incident.
cell phones.
Oh, I
So,
see.
Like an
Okay.
accident out on the road with
I
all
gotcha.
the cellular phones out there
Okay.
now. 20 years ago, you
That
couldn't do it
accounts
now.
for
I
it.
gotcha.
Yeah, so a better way to gauge the response is how many calls per service
They all
we
come in
get.
within
An
high.
That's
incidents.
how many times we
Incidents.
dispatch
It's
out
down
police,
for
fire,
Bettendorf.
or ambulance.
And-
And that's about 225,000, and then medical, there does another 40,000.
Her question was, how do we determine if it's a Bettendorf, Davenport, or Scott County call? With the way that our positron is actually configured, we have it where right now Bettendorf calls go to Bettendorf. Well, it's the same type of thing, and it's all based on configuration where those calls that are trunked to go to Bettendorf will now actually come through here, and we're able to, as the dispatchers log in, they choose a role. Are they Bettendorf, Davenport, Scott County? Is that our main coverage? Or if, when we actually come to that phase 2 where we have dispatcher versus call taker, then they can actually choose a different type of profile where they're able to answer all calls. So that's how that's done. Yes.
At one time as a volunteer fire department, are they tied in? So say there's something out of Dixon, are they direct here, or does that go through the county, or how does that handle?
Their radio traffic?
Well, yeah, say there's an accident and somebody calls Dixon Fire Department to respond to an emergency before a medic can get out there. I mean, is that handled through here too?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it is.
Is there a
Same thing
lot of
up there.
burnout with this job?
Absolutely.
How long,
Absolutely.
like, what's the longest that anyone's ever stayed?
Oh, how long have you been here, Billy? 30-some years?
Not quite.
We have, I mean, it ranges. We have dispatchers who are just new to this. Okay, I was a dispatcher for 4 years with the city of Davenport. She's been here for 30-plus years. Our deputy director had 30-plus years with the city of Davenport. So it varies. It all depends on that type of person. And I'll be honest, it's a different breed altogether for someone being a dispatcher. It's a lot of stress to take on.
Yep.
Answering a 911 calls, you have to multitask. You're not only handling what's going on for the safety of that person that you're answering the 911 call, but the safety of the officer or the fireman that's responding. So it's that excess. You have the stress from one side and the stress from the other, because you are that lifeline, you're that link.
Do you have a therapist in the other room?
Well, we do,
Massage table?
well, I will say, this,
Get on the committee.
we'll work on that, Brian.
You guys can follow me around this way. We'll take you to your next station.
Thank you very much.
Have you had any simulated training on the new equipment yet?
We have had quite a bit of training. We've had specific training for phones. We had training for our radio system. And we have actually CAD training specific coming up for our dispatchers. We're trying to keep that training closer to whenever they're going to be going live, just so that, one, it's fresh in their mind, and that way we can keep it rolling that way. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much for coming, folks. My name is Kevin Greenlee, and I'm with Medic EMS. And I have Paul Andorf, who is our computer genius, and Janelle Christie, one of our supervisors in our dispatch center. Right now, we dispatch all of our ambulances from our headquarters at Bridge and High Street. We've been doing it there for 13 years. And on March 29th at 5:30 in the morning, we're going to be dispatching from here. Well, actually, we're going to be doing both for a couple hours, just to make sure all the kinks are worked out. But then we'll be dispatching from up here. One of the overriding goals of anything to do with public safety is how do we get you the care that you need, whether it be police, fire, ambulance, as quickly as possible and as safely as possible. And that's the overriding goal of anything that we do in public safety. And I'll explain to you briefly how it currently works and how it's going to work moving forward. So right now, it works the same in Davenport, better for Scott County, but I'll still pick on Mayor Gluba, as I have been all day. So you live in Davenport, you dial 911, and the dispatcher says, 911, what's the address of your emergency? You say, I live at 1800 West Locust Street, I'm having chest pain. So the dispatcher then sends out the fire truck, the closest fire truck to 1800 West Locust Street. They're going to call Janelle and say, I've got a caller on the phone. Janelle's going to answer the phone. What's your emergency? I live at 1800 West Locust Street, I'm having chest pain, we're sending an ambulance. Janelle's going to keep you on the phone and ask you questions, part of what we call pre-arrival instructions. Now sometimes it's as simple as, gather up your medications, lock up your pets, turn on your porch light, but it may even be help you to teach you how to control severe bleeding, help someone who's choking, or even, God forbid, do CPR. Again, public safety is about getting you the help you need as quickly as possible, and sometimes you're there. And if we can help you, even for a brief period of time, control bleeding or open an airway or give mouth or give CPR instructions, you have now become part of that public safety team until fire ambulance can arrive. So that's how it currently works. Under the new system, again, same scenario, you're going to dial 911. There's two parts to it. There's a caller, which is you, the person, and then there's the call for service, which is the information. You're going to dial 911, they're going to answer it. Scott County, what's your address, your emergency? I live at 1800 West Locust Street, I'm having chest pain. They've typed it in the computer, they hit a button, boom. Now the Davenport fire truck and the medic ambulance have both got that information, and both of them are rolling towards your house to help you out. You're still going to then be transferred to the medic call dispatcher, Janelle, she's going to ask you those questions. Are you having shortness of breath, those types of things. So again, we want to get the responders there, police, fire, ambulance, as quickly as possible. The other example I've been using all day is Christmas Eve, 53rd and Elmore, a little bit of traffic, you got into a fender bender, you dial 911 from your cell phone, you told the dispatcher, I'm in a blue car at 53rd and Elmore and I have neck pain. They type that in, hit a button, and now police, fire, and ambulance all have that information all at the same time, and they're all coming to help you out right away. So we've shortened up those links in the chain, and that communication chain, again, to get you the help that you need as quickly as possible. Sometimes that help is you before police, fire, ambulance can get there. But that's the overriding goal, is to shorten up that response time. This is part of a bigger public safety picture, is again, not only for your safety, but for the safety of the responders as well. With our new 800 radio system, now everybody is on the same system. So before, we're at the scene of a house fire, and Fire Chief Gloob and I'm on one side of the street, he's on the other side of the street. He needs something from me, he'd have to call the Davenport dispatcher, call the medic dispatcher, who called me, and then we did the phone tree back. Well now, not only being on the same radio system, but on the same system, Fire Chief and I can talk back and forth with one another, whether it be the Fire Chief, police to fire, all that back and forth. So again, what can we be doing to improve the care that the citizens of this county receive, and also the safety of those responding to those emergencies? The life of EMS in 90 seconds. Yes, ma'am.
I'm curious about what kind of statistics you keep on your average response time and what you think is going to happen with this change.
Very good question. What we do is we track our response time because we cover the whole county. We break it into our county response times and our metro. When we say metro, it's Davenport and Bettendorf is how we classify our metro. And what we're going to anticipate is there's different parts. It's not just about driving faster. Say, well, if you just want to get there quicker, drive faster. No, part of that is removing, because what you see when you dial 911, you want me there or a fire truck or a police officer there quicker. So what can I shorten up out of that whole process to get them there quicker? So you're going to see those response times come down quicker because we've shortened up those links in the chain. Now Davenport doesn't call medic, who then does what they do. It's all going on at the same time. So we're going to shorten that up. And that's really what you try and do. It's not just drive faster. And that's also why, in the city of Davenport, there's 8 fire stations. Medic, we have our ambulances scattered strategically throughout the city. And again, you say, well, why do you need 8 fire stations? Or we have, how many different locations around the city? We have 7 locations. Would it make more sense to have them all in one in the center? No, because then I have farther to go, so that's why you strategically place them around. So yes, response times will come down. National average, I think, is probably around 7 minutes. Right now, in the metro, I know we're around five minutes. Davenport Fire is a little bit shorter than that. I think they're 3 to 5 is their average response times. So we're looking to shorten that up. And I just don't know Bettendorf's. I'm not trying to short them. I just don't know theirs off the top of my head. What other questions? Yes, sir.
Well, I used to be a fireman, first responder, so how would say something, I would say there's a accident or something out in New Liberty, how will you work with the fire? Do they have the same frequency whether you can stay in contact with them or medic now? That's an
Yep.
improvement over the old then.
Right, yeah, before, now what they could do is, they could get on their portable radio.
And we all carry the same portable radios.
Everybody,
in the county has the same-
everyone in the entire county has the same radio, so they can just turn to, it's called, Med-AM.
Medic.
Medic-AM.
One or
Medic
Medic
One, and they
ADM,
just turn,
whatever.
or if I need